So I've done a few videos showing you my 2009 Toyota Sienna, showing you what we carry in it, showing you, some of the places that we go, what we use for cooking, things like that. In fact, if you've missed those, I'll put a link to a playlist at the end of this video. But one of the questions that we get time and time again is, tell us about the bed. How did you build the bed? What are the dimensions of the bed? So today I'm going to show you exactly how this bed is made and what you'll need to make one as well, starting right now. So first things first, I want to show you the dimensions of the van, and that will help explain when I go show you the bed as to how I landed on that size. So the width of the van here at the narrowest point is just about 52 and a half inches. We'll go with 52 and a half inches. So I just showed you the inside of the van, measures about 52 inches across. A full-size bed is about 53 inches across, 75 inches long. I went over to Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever you have, and I bought a 3/4 inch sheet of sanded plywood. I wanted something that wasn't going to snag on blankets and sheets and the foam mattress that we use and everything. So a sheet of plywood is 4x8. So I got 48 inches. I'm 52 across in there. That'll leave a little bit of room for my foam to overhang or blankets to get tucked in there or whatever. And then I cut it to length, 75 inches. So now I have taken a 4x8 sheet of plywood and cut it to 4 feet across and 75 inches, or 48 inches across and 75 inches in length. Home Depot or wherever, I think I got this at Home Depot, they'll cut it for you. So I knew exactly what size I wanted when I went in there, and I had them cut it to length so I didn't have to come home and deal with that. So they cut this to 75 inches in length. And let me show you what I did first of all with the piece that was left over. So my Sienna has a stowaway or hideaway third row. So my third row of seats are actually, I don't know if you can see those there, but that's my third row. They're tucked right into the floor right there. Now I have 2x4 legs on the bed, so this is a plastic back on these seats. So what I wanted to do was to be able to distribute the weight. I took that extra piece that was left over when I cut the plywood down, and I used that to go across here so that I have something to help distribute the weight when I put the bed in there. And then, I don't know if you can see those, I picked these, I think these were also at Home Depot, the little foam things that I put under the leg. I'm not a carpenter. There was a little bit of wobble in there, and by putting this under the legs, I was able to get rid of that wobble. So I'll show you underneath the bed here in just a second. But what I did was I screwed down through the top into the 2x4 legs that I had cut. I think these are probably 1.5 or 2 inches. Get the longest ones that you think you can drive straight. The more support, the better. Yeah, you can see I went right down through the top of the bed into the legs underneath with this. Alright, let's see what it looks like underneath. Now the most important tool that you'll need to make this bed is a level. I'm sure all vehicles are different, so I just used the level. I wanted to make sure that the sleeping surface was level. I didn't want to sleep uphill or downhill. As long as I can find a level place to park, my sleeping surface will also be level. The rear end of the vehicle sits up higher than the front end, so that is why I needed to make sure that I was making the sleeping surface level, and the legs are at different lengths as you go from front to back to help keep everything level. Now I had a very scientific method for coming up with the height of the bed. I bought the totes and the cooler that I wanted to stick under there, and that's how I came up. That's how I came up with the height. So there's the totes that we use for clothes. We have totes under there for my clothes, Lisa's clothes, kitchen stuff, food stuff, and the cooler that we bought. Good, you know, full-size cooler. So the bed is set so that the front is on the right hand side of your screen. The rear of the bed is on the left, and you should be able to see the legs in front are longer, and then they get shorter as you go back. I'll put a tape measure on those and show you exactly how long they are. So here I am down here at the front of the bed, and by the front of the bed I mean this is the end of the bed that sits closest to the front of the vehicle. And these are the longest legs. So these legs here, again, built because of the totes that I bought. You may have different things that you want to store under there, so you can cut accordingly as long as you use the level. These front legs are 20 3/4 inches. Now you can see I have 4 rows of legs. I wanted stability. I'm not a small guy, which is why I wanted to make sure that I had the weight distributed pretty evenly. I didn't want things sagging and things like that. So let's get into the second row. Second row, 18.5 inches. Third row, 17.5 inches. And then here in the back, try not to step in front of you here and show you my back, but I am just a hair under 16 inches right here on the back row. So I go from 16 inches here in the back to 20 3/4 here in the front. So you can see this thing, if I set it on the ground, it's not going to be level. But when you put it in the van with the rear end, you know, slightly higher than the front, it's perfectly level. Now, these here are very important. I mean, as you can tell, these things here will probably get a little wobbly with just a couple screws in them. So go ahead and buy these. These are actually shelf brackets. Like this right here. Get these at Home Depot. Gosh, $4 a piece, something like that. These are the ones that I chose. I wanted something, you know, pretty heavy duty. And these here, you do have to make sure that you get screws long enough to give you support, but short enough so that they're not going to poke through the other side. There's the construction of the bed for my 2009 Toyota Sienna. Hopefully, this gives you the information that you need so that if you are so inclined, you want to turn your passenger van into a camper van, it's pretty simple. I don't think the whole thing costs, you know, $100, $150, something like that. Hopefully you do find this useful and helpful, and please go ahead and hit that like button. Let us know that you liked the video, that you found it useful. Leave us a comment. Let us know if you have other ideas. We're always open to other ideas, but for what we have here, this seems to work the best because I can take it out really easy and put the seats back in. You know, if we have the grandkids and we're gonna do like a family sort of outing, something like that, this converts very easily back to a 7-passenger van. So if you want to see more videos like this and you don't want to miss them when I put them out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. There's something else I wanted to say, and I'll think of it when I'm done. But anyways, if you find this video useful, if you find this helpful,